Okay, so we're going to continue with Siman Daled, number 3. We are talking about using the facilities, using the bathroom, and we're just going to go into more detail about things that we shouldn't do, proper way of acting when we have to use the facilities. Lo yepana b'amida. One should not relieve himself, defecate, while standing. We should be in a sitting position. We shouldn't stand while we do it. Lo yanos lidochok atzmo yoser midoi. And one should not force himself to defecate by straining himself excessively. You know, so if we do feel constipation, which does happen, some people don't have enough fiber in their diet, whatever it is, you know, you shouldn't strain yourself. We learned before that you should get up and walk Daled Amos. You should walk 4 Amos and come back and try again. Now, if you do have a medical problem, then you know you can go to any Albertsons or Safeway or whatever it is, and you can always buy something to help relieve yourself. But you should definitely not strain yourself when you do it. Shelo yinakek shinai harkarkashta, so as not to cause the muscles that hold the rectum in place of tear. You shouldn't do it because you don't want to cause injury to yourself. Now, there is a very big there's a very big thing that as a Jew, we don't want to cause ourselves pain. Today, you know, you walk around, you see people with all these things in their face, these piercings in their face. Now, halachically, we can't do that. We're not allowed to do that. We're not allowed to cause ourselves pain. We're not. If we know that if we do something is a painful situation, for example, if we're cleaning our backyard and we find a whole brush, a thorny brush, and we say, oh, now we're just going to use it with our hands, but we know the chances are we're going to get pricked by a thorn, go get some gloves on. Put some gloves on, move it. We don't want to give ourselves pain. So same thing when we're using the restroom, we don't want to strain excessively because it could tear the muscles. And that's something we don't want to do. The lo hair, let's say me basic key say, one should not hasten to leave the bathroom, ad asher barud lo, until he is sure she'eno sarichol, that he no longer needs to relieve himself. Now this is for defecation, that we should make sure that everything's good to go. Now, there is a certain habit that that takes place that people put literature in the restrooms, so they have something to read. Now, there is a reason why. It's because it gets us relaxed, you know, so we can use the facility, something that's comfortable reading, and it also it makes sure that we get everything out. It distracts us somewhat. But one thing I do have to say, we're going to learn this later on, but it should never ever be words of Torah, ever. Should never be words of Torah. I think it was either the Ben Ish Chai or the Chazon Ish, I'm not sure which one, wrote a whole science book when he was using the facilities. He would spend his time learning a science book, and it is a great time to catch up on different forms of education. There is a series of books that came out. It's called Uncle John's Bathroom Reader, but it's all a bunch of one-page facts. It tells some parts of history, some are puzzles, whatever it is. I'm not saying you should buy it, but I'm saying something along the lines of that, or get a history book, or get a book of poetry, whatever suits your fancy. You should have, you know, inside the restroom, because A, it would distract your mind from Torah thoughts. Like I know if you're having an amazing Daf Yomi share with Rabbi Jack, and you're on such an amazing concept, you shouldn't, you know, go into the restroom thinking about that amazing concept, because Rabbi Jack gives such a geschmack Daf Yomi share that it's mamish like the Shechina is coming down from Mina Shemayim to wrestling in the Shemala. Sorry, just got carried away there. Okay, let's continue. When standing while urinating, yeshgiach shelo yinasu al minalav uf gadav. He should be mindful that the urine not drip on his shoes or clothing. So, aim well. V'yazaher ma'od. Nonetheless, he should be careful when urinating. This is important. Shelo le'achos b'yadov b'milaso. not to hold his organ of circumcision with his hands. So we shouldn't hold it with our hands. Now, I just said aim properly, and then I said you should not hold it with your hands. How is that possible? Elam comes in Siman 151. We're going to learn it in Siman 151. So we have ways to go. We're going to learn the halachas of actually in that area. You know, not to sound graphic. That's Siman. That's number 3. I'm going to do 4 really quick. It's forbidden to contemplate Torah thoughts while in the bathroom. I said it before. I went into detail. Therefore, by Yoso Shama, while he is there, Tov Shahar Hair Basakav Umechasha Banosav. It is proper to think about one's business and financial calculations. Great place to do your taxes. You know, so if you're doing business or calculations, go over your books. If you have a laptop, take out QuickBooks and do QuickBooks on it. If you have a tablet, it's easier to do that. Just go over your business calculations. That's something to do in there. So Yavo Lide Aurora Torah. So he does not come to think of Torah thoughts. Oh Aurora Avera Chas v'Shalom, or simple thoughts, God forbid. So you want something that's really going to distract you. You know, because we don't want to think about Torah thoughts or simple thoughts. We're here sitting, we're by ourselves, we're in a room by ourselves, unless you're using the public facilities, and your mind wanders. It's best to get something that's going to keep your mind focused on it. Get a good book. You know, I'm personally a big fan of World War II history. So I purchased World War II history books. I showed George one of the books, History of Dawn. It talked about the American troops and the British troops and the Canadian troops conquering North Africa during World War II. It's a series of books. That is something that's proper to read. It's a historical account. It's something that is kosher for someone to read. So that is something you want to do. Something that's interesting, that's going to take your mind off of going to other thoughts. Very important. Uvi Shabbos. What about Shabbos? Shabbos, you can't do your taxes on Shabbos. When one may not think about his business, he should contemplate fascinating things that he saw or heard or the like. So on Shabbos, we can't think about money matters. We're not allowed to. So you can't think about your business, you know, how much money did I make this week, whatever it is, blah, blah, blah. You find something interesting. That's mainly the thing that you want to do. Something that's going to keep your mind off of Torah thoughts or thoughts that you should never think about. You know, in the ways of women and so on and so forth, just to clarify that. All right, that's all we're going to do today. Tomorrow, B'ezrat Hashem, we are going to finish Siman Daled, and we're going to move on to Siman Hey. We're moving along very quickly. I'm very proud of everyone in here, especially Rabbi Jack.